I did the wrong level. Okay, here we go. Hello. Time to undo yesterday's work? No. No. I want the things that I did yesterday to stay done. Please. Okay, so what's going on here is we added the capability a while ago to undo after a reset. So, for a while in this game, you would hit the reset key because in puzzle games you get stuck and you're like, let me just start over. And that would totally hose all your undo, and you would be like, oh, but wait, I actually don't want to reset, and you couldn't undo past that reset. So I added that just a week or two ago, and it mostly works, but there's a little bit of a situation where it doesn't work. What tea are we drinking today? I'm going to do the Golden Monkey, even though it's frickin' 8 in the morning. I might steep it a little less. Anyway, so I think what we are doing is recording the incorrect position of this thing, and I'm realizing that I don't know where it's supposed to be. And I think I vaguely know why. Okay, so let's just... So the incorrect position. So basically we transmute this thing and then we push it, right? And so 711, you should never be at 711, right? We want it to be at 712. Okay, so let me do the T here. Trademark infringement. Well, I don't know. Face cam comes back when the game... No, I think the face cam will come back before the game is done. I don't know when. I've just been feeling like going without it for a little bit. Okay, so this thing here, note ECD, stands for note entity creation or destruction. The way this undo system works is we have all these data records about changes that happened, and they're bidirectional, right? Because you want to be able to undo and you want to be able to redo. So it's like, okay, what are the changes to the entity data that happen in either direction? And in one direction, I was watching this just at the beginning of the stream, so most people probably didn't see it, but in one direction, this is actually correct. Like if I redo, it comes out right, but if I undo, it comes out wrong, which is a little bit confusing to think about, but it's due to this bidirectionality of the data record. Okay, so this is for the tree thingy, because when we do the reset, we're basically destroying that crystal that I made, right? And we're recreating the tree. Now, when we destroy the crystal in the reset, we have to record where it was when we destroyed it. And I feel like that ain't correct. All right, so this is not the right entity, though, even. This is. Okay. So it's called creation or destruction because you either create or destroy the thing based on whether you're going forward or backward. Why did I write that way? That's very old code. I don't want to change it right now because Visual Studio will freak out because it's not a good debugger, but like, let's just do that. Okay, that was like literally the only... All right, so I didn't save that, so it won't hose our debugging session. Like back in the old days, before these programs tried to be smart, I could have just saved that change and had it off my mind, and it wouldn't have been a big deal. But I can't do that now because Visual Studio is made by summer interns. Okay. Record ECD state. So, result, this is a buffer that we're putting the data into that we're then going to return to the caller. This is probably where things go wrong. If I look at the position, it should be 712, right? Wait, 711, what? What? How are we at 711 already? How are we at 711? Already? Oh, never mind. No, of course we're at 711. Okay, the reason we're at 711. Now I'm so confused. So maybe I should do the reset code differently. The way that I'm doing the reset code right now is I actually walk backward through all the changes in the universe and apply them in reverse. And that's going to move the rock back to 711, right? And then we end up destroying it. Now, what I'm so confused about is why this works the rest of the time. So I could change, okay, there's two things going on. One, I could change the implementation of undo to not work that way, and it might be faster anyway. If we just reload the entities, the problem is, we have like another undo system for higher level undos that uses the same code. And so like if this bug is still there, that's not good. This one is hard to think about. Okay, so if I could go add some more breakpoints in here, and if I do that, let's go back. Let's show where we are. So we're in revert to most recent checkpoint. Oh, wait. Okay, no, it's good that I looked at this. Here we're still in the loop where we roll back to the checkpoint. So this entity creation and destruction so here we're undoing the creation of the crystal. I'm confused. Okay, so this is a destroy action. I don't understand why there's a destroy action. Maybe that's why I'm so confused. So this is like in the thing. Oh, never mind. Hold on. Let's just look at the data. Action. It's a creation or destruction. Right, so this is actually a creation. Right, okay, this is all confusing, right? This is a creation operation, but we're undoing it. So it becomes a destroy operation. So we're destroying this crystal at the very beginning. Okay. So like I think just the basic logic here is wrong. Okay. So what's going on here is this code is just doing the wrong thing for any entity that ever got created, because any entity that ever got created since the reset, we could maybe test this another way, by the way. There's other ways of creating. So any entity that got created since the reset, we're going to back it up to its initial position and then record that because we destroyed it. But in order for that to work, we also have to record the changes that happened after that. And I feel like, so like it's fine if we create it at the old position as long as we move it and stuff. So I'm having two conflicting thoughts right now. One of the thoughts is I shouldn't be implementing this way anyway. The other thought is we're going to sort of have this problem for anything that works this way in the other undo UI. Like UI reset is not necessarily special. Are there undo tests? I mean, we have implicit undo test because we undo all the time in the frickin' recordings. You know what? I feel like this might be one of those cases of doing actions in the wrong order. So this is entity ID 3FF4. Oh, right. So here, okay, we're going backwards or forwards based on what is happening. So I is 3. And so we're doing 0, which means we already did 3, 2, 1, and 0. 3 is a different entity. 2 is a different entity. Huh. Oh, because the undo of the position would have been in the next turn. It's not in this turn. So I guess none of this is really the question. This part, okay, this part is not necessarily a problem, I guess. Where's the pending actions? Handler pending actions. Okay. This should already have in it, oh, it's up here, a change. Nope. So that's really sort of the problem, is that we somehow didn't record a change for this crystal. for some reason, and it's probably something that where I thought it was an optimization or whatever. So if I go back and think about what's on the map, I mean, we should have played back an entity change for this thing. Well, maybe when we do that, so here's a change. Bunch of contingency planning here. Remove the entity from the grid. Update old entities is going to be false. Yeah, so we never actually save out this change if update old entities is false. See, up here, so we apply the change into the mesh. So I think what I need to do is an update, if not update old entities right here. I think we actually need to put a change. We need to put a reversed version of this change into the change buffer. which doesn't seem very clean to me. Let's just verify that this is what's happening, because this is a, you know, this is confusing. So we're just going to reset. Whoops. No, not that. It's the year 2022, and pressing F12 still causes your debugger to run an exception. All right. So, bam, bam. Okay, so now I want to go back here, and I'm just going to watch the whole loop when I hit reset. Okay, so top record on the stack. This one should involve me pushing the stone. So there should be like at least 3 entities, right? So we're undoing those. Yeah. So we've got 3 changes to the world state. It's change, change, change. So 3 different entities. I'm hoping the rock is 3FA now. It probably is. This is going to be one of the characters, and that's going to be the other character. We'll just step through and watch. It's a change, right? You really should. Oops. Silly to type all that. All right, this is the warrior. Great. We're just going to skip through. Is the crystal. So we're about to change the crystal's position. Yeah, this is a very wasteful way to run a reset, guys. If I'm being honest. So our position is 712, and after I cross this function, it's going to be 711. Yep. Okay, so we're backing it up. I'm very confused about, okay, so this is all fine. The way this is supposed to work is we're just undoing a bunch of moves. We're drinking the back in time potion until we get to the checkpoint or the start of the level, at which point all the things will be where they were, right? And then we diff versus the current state. And that should give us a move that goes from the beginning, or from what was our current state to the reset state. Okay, okay. And the way we get that is we're supposed to have this old entities backup that we diff off of that is not supposed to move through this process. That's a whole thing that I kind of want to clean up and formalize. But um, so like, is that somehow not working? Are we somehow deleting that? Hmm. So old entities is like a hash table. It's not that easy. Um, come on, bruh. Where is it? Old entity table. Okay. So this I guess what I could do is see if we remove this guy from the old entity table erroneously during this process. Um, because update old entities is false. Calling it old entities is not, it's not a very clean way to conceptualize, but so if we're going to remove the record from here, that would be bad. It's not that easy to see because it's going to be a hash table with a lot of empty slots. Like I'd have to. All right, so I don't know what this is like button state shit. I don't know why the debugger is confused and giving me button state stuff here. Like what is going on there? Title bar state? Like what? That's a debug info problem. Oh my god, dude. Still not entirely sure how the state changer history is stored. Well, dude, I'm not going to sit here for 3 hours and explain it. Sorry. I gotta actually work on the thing. It's a little bit. There's two components of it. All right. There's the old entities, which is supposed to be a backup of what exists in the world, and there's the set of transformations that happen on the data. So the reason this old entity table is not a very clean way of representing the thing is like there's one and it's kind of like quasi-global. And what you really want to do is maybe just have these be a little more first class. You have one that says like this represents some state of the level, right? It's more like a state of the level as pertains to the changeable entities, because there's lots of entities in a level that don't change. And well, but I don't want to rat hole on refactoring that right now. So I could just see, when we have a remove old entity, we could just see if we end up there before we get back. I don't think we should, but if we do, that gives us information. Oh, we did get here. We did get here. Update old entities is false. I think we called this calling from checkpoint reset. Okay, I think this is just the bug, is that we're calling this. I've got to edit over here. We don't want to do that because this represents the current state of the world. That we want to diff from. So the old entities is like our diff base, right? It's like the thing. We're going to modify the entities and then we're going to diff against the old entities. Here, the whole thing about update old entities being false is like, look, we don't want to change that diff base, right? And here we were changing it. So I don't know. This is a potentially complicated change that could cause a lot of disaster if other things are wrong. Okay, reset, undo. Assertion. Assertion failed. Create old entity is like, hey, you told us to create an old entity, but this other one was there. It was there because we didn't frickin' delete it. Why are we... Why are we here now? Okay, so I reset and I hit the undo button. And it's trying to create a crystal from this undo. Let's verify that it's the crystal, right? Yes. So it's like, hey, there's still this old entity hanging around. The reason there's an old entity hanging around is not because we didn't delete it there. I don't think. It's because we didn't... Like, this is a... See, this is very confusing because... the bidirectionality, like the fact that a creation event and a destroy event are the same thing, and depending on whether we're playing back or playing forward, we're thinking about one or the other, is making it a little bit more confusing for my brain to think about. After we rewind the whole state, in world state, we won't have that crystal anymore because we undid the creation of the crystal. There's no crystal in the world. We then diff that against the old entities that does have a crystal. And okay, here's the thing. I don't think we have a way of understanding that right now, because I think during normal, so we scan for changes, right? But it's a little bit of a weird system where we rely on the system to tell us about creations and destructions. Okay. And because that makes the scans, like, I guess cheaper, maybe not. You know, sometimes you question whether you should have done things that way. So undo note created entity and undo note destroyed entity, these get called like from out in the world, right? Entity manager and stuff. So when we destroy an entity, entity manager tells us we're destroyed. So when we do the diff, we don't actually have to detect things being destroyed or created. And that's what's making this a little bit confusing, because I want to think about it as like an automatic diff step, but it's not. So when we destroyed, yeah, okay. Where was it? Okay, it was here. I'm going to reverse this for a minute because I think we're going to have to do something. So we remove the old entity, right? Oh, this is from undo note destroyed entity calling from checkpoint reset. Right, this is the same function that would have been called from externally, except not calling from checkpoint reset. So what am I supposed to do? So I could make a note that we destroyed this thing. And then at the end of the undo, we can call this on all those things that were destroyed. This makes sense to me. This is like, okay, this will do the right thing in that, so we roll back our current world state. The old entities just still remains where we were. Then after all these undo steps are done, we tell it what we did. Also, I forgot about this part, which is like we go through all the pending actions and remove anything that would have been useful information about where it was. I don't think we're... I don't know, dude. Okay. So even if I decide to do this special handling, which I'm not sure, I need to think through more, because it's clear to me that it'll solve the problem, but I'm like, why don't I need to do that normally? It's like I kind of want to do a rewrite on this whole thing with regard to the old entities, because I kind of have a clearer picture of what would make it neater, but again, I don't totally know right now. I don't totally know. Like, I don't want to rat hole on that until this is like, I'll fix this, and then I'll be like, okay, do we want to think about this other thing? See, all these if statements about calling from checkpoint reset, which is actually the same variable as, don't update old entities and whatever, all of that really could be represented by, here's the entity state that I want you to modify, please. And you just pass one of those, and maybe that's null if you don't want us to modify an entity state, although you probably always would, because you would probably change it so that you would be like, instead of modifying the world state, just keep modifying this side entity state thing, and then I'll mirror that back to the world in the end. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that is a thing that we might do at some point. And, I could start that refactor just by pulling the old entities hash table out into like a separate struct and just calling that something and leaving the code working exactly the same. And it seems like then you could incrementally modify that. But okay, in this case, I kind of want more T. So why don't I need to do this if it's like a one-step undo? Well, maybe because a one-step undo never contains both a change and a destroy event. Those are like two separate gameplay moves. So that could be why. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's solve this problem, and then maybe I do want to start doing that refactor, because I would like to make these things more clear. Now this thing is upset because it's like, dude, we are trying to make the old entity because this thing didn't exist in the world and now it does, and your old entity state is desynced from ours. Now that's actually fine. This would actually be fixed by the thing that I'm telling you I want to do. with regard to not the big refactor that I was talking about, but with regard to this thing here. So we need to diff this against not the current world state, since that is in the process of being rolled back, but the end or the world state we had when we started rolling back. See, this is a thing where if we weren't actually modifying the world state, if we were modifying something on the side, this wouldn't be a question, right? Wait. Okay, hold on. What I'm typing is not a correct description. It's just so confusing to think. I don't know why. Like sometimes things are just confusing to think about. And this is one of those. Like I'm a little bit going in circles with regard to the way that I'm thinking about it. I'm generally making progress, but like, man. So now I'm looking at this again and I'm thinking, okay, wait, the old entity state should have its old entity removed because we are destroying this out of the world. Guys, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to program. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anything about anything. Okay. So we've rolled back these moves one by one. So the crystal is going to be in its starting position. And then we're going to destroy it. Now we need to record an entity destroy in the move for the reset needs to know that we destroyed this thing. And it does Yeah, I mean, it does because we record that. It's just. We don't record the change that I was talking about before. Remember when I was saying maybe we need to do a reverse change? Because that change isn't there, it just gets dropped on the floor. We are recording an entity creation with the wrong resulting state, and this doesn't matter for normal gameplay because you never have a creation and a change in the same move. But it does matter for this. Like the way this is framed. Okay, and so I could add more hacks, or I could just make it cleaner and better. And my inclination is maybe we just make it cleaner and better rather than adding more hacks. Not really adding more hacks. This is the wrong way to say it. Just like figuring out what to do that is actually more complicated. Because like normally when we do this recorded destruction message, we diff the data in the destruction off the current world state of the entity, right? In this particular case, we want to swap that and diff it off the old entity. Because the old entity is actually the current world state, right? And that's what makes this so confusing. Whereas if we were just always operating on one of these side old entity states and then backing that up into the thing, we wouldn't have to have weird exceptions and reversals and stuff. That said, this gives me the idea. Where does the data go into the... So this note ECD here, right? Okay, let me undo this. I don't think this is right. This note ECD is what actually records the state. And this thing says we're going to diff from the default state for the entity, right, to whatever its current state is. Right, so, you know, if you want to reconstruct the state, you just construct a blank one and you roll these. Right, and then we get the diff. Now, in this case, we actually want this E to be the old entity, right? That's what's confusing. We actually want it to be is that the only call? So what is it? Yeah. I think maybe we leave this one alone. I don't actually. For any pending entity creations, retroactively copy the entity's current state into the old entity state. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. I don't know why this isn't part of scan for changed entities. Okay. So you can see I'm thinking about how to restructure this code. Okay. Anyway, I don't think this is the one that we need to concern ourselves with. I think we're just looking at this and I think I don't know, something like that. It's probably a disaster. It's probably a disaster. We need to simplify the system. The less special cases, the better. Yes, generally. It's just I called it a hack, and it's not really a hack. Like, if a certain degree of complexity, hey, we fixed the problem. I fixed it. Look, boom, push, reset, undo. That was the bug. It is fixed, which is great. However, we're going to run a debug mode Benny test, which may be slow, but Here, let me make sure it's LLVM build. We're going to run a debug mode Benny test just to see if assertions go off or something. And that'll take a while, and we can like chat or something and have tea. And but it's really, so the longer that I'm in programming, the more I am convinced of this need to keep systems as absolutely simple as possible. And this one, so this undo system, it's actually okay. Like, it's not terrible. It's okay. Like, I've written several undo systems in my life. For the complexity of the job that we are dealing with here, this one is totally okay. But it's also confusing to think about. Like, if I worked with it every day, I would probably be much faster at figuring out what to do. But, well, I don't work with it every day. And nobody on this team does, because it's a small team. And if you want small teams to be able to do large software, then you got to be able to handle this shit, right? So I don't like the level of confusion that I was having there. And so I think I would like to try to at least start this refactor. And it's you know, any refactor of a system like this is perilous because it affects the whole frickin' game, can break the whole frickin' game, right? But it is what it is. What kind of tea? Probably Golden Monkey. Yeah, so basically the thing that was causing this bug was the fact that crystal got created after the level started was causing us to exercise a code path in a way that doesn't happen for most things. Because most of these levels, you destroy stuff in the middle of the level, maybe like you smash things or whatever, but it's not very often to create things. And in this case we did. So actually this makes me think of a few more things that should probably be tested, which we can do. And I'm a little bit scared of the results. If they go wrong, maybe I will still proceed with the refactor anyway. I at least wanted to get that one bug so that, just so that I was sure, not sure, but like, just so that I kind of felt like I a little bit knew what was going on. What about programming do you enjoy the most, the complexity or the challenge puzzle? It's not like that. It's a very large, complex discipline. And doing it well, there are many, many, many degrees of mastery involved, or continuous improvement, let's say, right? This is going to be such a cool game. Are the level tests recorded keystrokes? Sort of, yeah. There's a little bit of extra data there, but basically, if the system needed to be written at your job, it would never happen. They would say the risk of breaking things is too high. Yeah, I mean, most people say that. But here's the thing. That just means you're not in control, right? If you were in control, you would take the risk and test it and make sure it fucking works, right? Like, dude, look at fucking SpaceX, right? They were launching commercial payloads for people, and they were like, you know, on this rocket, we're going to put some grid fins on and see if we can land it. And it's like, what the fuck? Right? Like, That's definitely adding risk to the mission, but they did it, and that's how they made progress, right? So you need to the game be moddable. Probably not initially. We might release something for that. It's just we just have way too much to think about, even with the non-moddable version of the game. It'll feel like a small miracle when we finally manage to ship this game, because oh my god, it's so big. You have no idea. And here's the thing, when you do a refactor, there's another very large fallacy in that kind of argumentation, right? Which is, okay, when you do a refactor, yes, it can cause new bugs, right? And somebody can always point at those new bugs and blame you for them, right? But the refactor prevented other bugs probably, and nobody can point at you and blame you for those because they got eliminated before they were seen. And B, the refactor accelerated development and made it easier to fix, new bugs that are found and whatever. And you don't get to see that either, right? Like, so it's again, one of these things, it's like all these problems in politics, right? Like coronavirus handling, where the decisions are all made so that people can't be blamed for anything, as opposed to like what actually produces the most benefit. It's exactly like that, right? The game is big. The engine is pretty complex, but it's maybe about as complex as the Witness engine, approximately. It's just the amount of content is insane in this game. It's just straight up completely insane. And we're not even done yet. What's up with Raid release? What's up is it'll be done when it's done, and I wish people would stop asking me about it, please. Like, yeah, I know it's people want to see the game. It's not ready yet, and that's all I have to say about it. It'll be ready eventually. We shouldn't have announced it when we did, I think. But that's the story of my life with every game. We always announce every game and then take a long time to finish it. It's sad, but it's what has happened. Never seen anyone ask about it. People ask about it every day. Yeah, no, and I shouldn't complain about that because it's good. It's good that people are interested in the game and want to see it. Why aren't you learning from it and announcing it later? Because why don't you go run a game company and tell me how it goes? Is there a point where you go, this is enough content for the game and finish it up, even if you're still discovering new things to add? Okay, so the deal is we're just not going to run out of new things to add for this game. There's just so many possibilities, right? So we have to scope it a little bit differently. It's not about putting everything in that we can. It's about choosing a boundary of what will go in the game that feels satisfying and like we did the major things that there were to do. But there's just so much possibility in the game. How many folks do we have making levels? Right now, I mean, I'm not even making levels right now. So there's one dude making levels who is one of the best game designers in the world. And, you know, I want to go back and make some more levels too. Maybe I should do that today. Could do a little bit of you know, a little bit of design, warm up my design brain. Isn't that like the same problem Ken Levine is having in his new game? I don't know what is going on. I didn't read that trashy article that was written, so I don't know what people think is going on with Ken Levine. I have no idea what's going on with his game. And I presume that if I don't, most people don't. And that's fine. Should be starting your graduation project soon. You're planning to do a game from scratch with its own 3D engine. But the game has to be simple enough for you to complete it in time. I mean, you didn't say how long you have to finish it. If it's a semester like school, you maybe have 3 or 4 months. Like, you definitely could do a simple 3D game in 3 or 4 months, or you could do a complete disaster that you don't finish. So be careful, right? Be careful. About 6 months. Yeah, you can do stuff in that amount of time. You just got to be careful that you end up, like, do something, always do it incrementally, right? So, like, get something stupid running in like a month and then make it good. So if you want to make a game about, I don't know, a dude running around on a map pushing blocks, get a dude running around a map on the screen in the first month. If you can't do that, your game's going to suck and you have to scale it back anyway, right? Just don't do a thing where you're like trying to build out the engine, quote unquote, and it's like, you know, you've got 2 weeks left and you finally get a triangle on the screen in OpenGL, and then you're like, yay. That's not the right place to be. Okay, well, no assertions went off. No animals were harmed in the making of this thing. So that's good. I still didn't make my next batch of tea. We have some fails. This is true. Some of these levels... Okay, hold on. Some of these levels... Wait, that's actually in Heroes 2. Did I break something? Like, why are these... Now, this might be like at the end. Yeah, so let me see. Let me see. So first I want to copy all this just in case. Why is copy and pasting in console still so bad? Okay. So now this has more fails, but it's including levels that I think maybe maybe are not meant to be there. Like I suspect there's no gate to this one off the overworld. Okay. That looks like the final level, but it might be a variant. No. No. That's frickin' on the map. It's frickin' on the map. So why is this failing? Oh, test load failed. Oh, because, okay, that's why. So some of the levels are in the game and they didn't have tests, and the test routine would ignore them because they didn't have tests. So let's just solve this. All right, so we're gonna reset it. I'm gonna record and all right, well, whoops. So we're gonna go here, and this dude's gonna go, and then we're gonna go here, and this guy's gotta get out. Oh, went too far. And close that again. And shoop de whoop. Okay. What else? 222B. Is that what this one is? Yes. I mean, if it's a game design class, like what is the class, right? If the goal of the class is to make a good game, don't make it 3D. Sorry, but that's the advice that I have. If the goal of the class is to learn game production, then maybe making it 3D is fine. Okay. We'll get wizard out. So we'll block that. This is not so easy. Not so easy. What's my best way to do this? I keep forgetting how to do this level. There's like clean ways to do it and not so clean. You know what I could do? I could do this. Except I'm kind of hosed now. Now I've filled my thing with 2-minute dragons. Okay, what do I do? Does this game have a usual emphasis on nonverbal communication? I mean, it's different. Every game has a different point. This definitely employs that kind of thing, but it's not the point of the game the way it was in The Witness. It also wasn't the point of Braid, really. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I may have made the situation worse than it has to be, but like for sure wizard can go here. Okay, so now she can like walk out and they'll roast each other, and that's good. And then whoops, we could go wizard here and there and there, and then thief can come over here and roast those dudes, right? And then could block here. We can wizard. This dude could just walk out. Can walk out. She can come on over here. Nope, that's not what I meant. Uh-oh. That's not going to work. Okay, you're just going to go there. You're going to go there. You're going to boom. And then boom. Okay. Yay. Heroes 318 V2. The way the art is designed is it's not tiles, but there are some, so like floor tiles we have sometimes. I actually don't love the floor tiles, if I'm being honest, but I'm not sure what I want to do. Oh, don't do that. Wait, did I hit record? Let's hit record. All right. Boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom. All right. I honestly don't remember what I'm trying to do here. So I'm just going to stack these up on the other end. Hope that's not a mistake. Oh, the problem here is that I can't actually swap with any of these. We don't have a priest, so if I swap with either of these, I done get killed. But we can pull them. Can pull them. All right. Oops. I keep moving the wrong dudes. No. Okay, we'll do this. Bam. Thief will go here. He'll go down. Thief will pull and go. I just wanted... Oh, you know, I can push these anyway. What am I doing? What am I doing? Once we get them away, we can just push them. Right, and then wizard can come out. And this dude could come out and pop that, and he can go there. And okay, now the trick is we need to get this guy out pretty far. Go there. There. Go there. And there. And then we do this. We go there. Whoops, we don't do that. We go there. Okay. He'll just push everyone. Except that now. Okay. GG's. Took a lot more moves than probably it needed to. Okay. Oh, that's literally the one that I just did. Is this actually in the rotation? Let's find out. It looks like it is. Yep. All right. Yeah, I guess the gates in this level were not doing a lot. So it's more like we're in our cells. Did I record? I don't know. Let's see. Nope. That's the wrong move. We'll go here and there, and he gets out, and he gets out, and she gets out. Okay. Yeah, a lot of these levels probably work fine, and it's just like they didn't have tests for a long time. This is one of mine, I think. Okay, let's record. What am I even trying to do here? Is this my level? Let's find out. It sounds like it, but no, it's Zach's. All right. All right. No wonder it wasn't quite ringing a bell. I was like, it sounds like one of my names, but it wasn't. Okay, so it's probably just the timing is off in the recording. You got scammed. Pretty sure I didn't record the second level I played. We'll go back to that in a second. We'll see it, we'll run another Benny test and we'll see. And then I'll just do it again. Okay, I need to get across somehow. So if one person gets across to the island, right, then clearly the other person can. Or then they could block the stone. So now the way that you could get there is pretty clearly, well, you would like to push a stone here and then ride on this, right? And you could push it, like if this person's here, well, we could obviously push it this way. That's not so good. So I think the deal is we kind of need to use like we kind of would like to use this second lily pad in the lower right to fill in a thing, right? Like if we could fill in this, then we can get a stone up there, no problem. For example. Now, that's like a two-step process because we got to get it out of here. We could push something across here. And then it's going up. And then we can't ever make it go left without losing the stone, and that makes everybody very sad. Makes everybody very sad. So, what do we do? What do we do with that guy? I mean, pretty clearly we have to kick it north to do anything with it. But then we could kick it east very easily. That's useless. Maybe we don't need to keep the stone. Maybe that's so I did see in the playtest it looked like they were using the stone in the last move, but you could presume see, we could kick this across here, and then if we could get the stone here quickly, we could kick it this way and push this left. And if this was clear, another person could ride there, right? But that is not really possible. I mean, the thing is, you'd have to kick the stone back across and then push it north on the left side. And by the time you do that, this lily pad's like gone. Yes, lily pads collide. They collide. So, I don't exactly know. Well, yeah, unfortunately I have no chocolate fuel. Sag. I do have cinnamon coffee cake fuel, but I ate all the really cinnamony parts already, so now I've just got like cake parts. So clearly I can do this, right? That doesn't help anyone. So like it's like if I did that faster, I could put that in there and then I would lose the rock. So that would not be very good. Doesn't seem like the way to go, if you know what I'm saying. All right. Because I'm just trying to fix problems, I'm going to spoil myself and everybody. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to not know right now. So why do we have Death from Above in the level set? Heroes 3D skills. Oh no, that okay, never mind. That's a different level than I thought it was. So this one is not on the overworld. I mean, I can record the test for it just fine. Oh, except I don't think this works anymore. Because monsters... Oh, no, it does. Okay. Oh boy, I remember this level. What I don't know is if it is currently playable. Oh, no, it isn't, because this guy can't even talk to the dragon now. So this one, let's see. Oh, it's because we turn the freaking dragon. Wait, bards turning dragons is going to mess up a lot of shit. We need to talk about this in the next meeting. Okay. Maybe we go back and look at the code now. I just wanted to do a few of these little levies. So we can commit this. We could say fixed Oh, I've got no check-ins in that one. We don't want to do that, but we could revert that one actually. So we fixed a basic problem with undo after reset. Actually, before we check that in, let's not check that in yet. We'll check in the tests. Because I just remembered I wanted to do some more evaluation about the undo after reset scenario. God, this takes so long now. So we'll just do this. We'll say add some level tests. Boom. There's only ever one instance of each character archetype. Maybe. Maybe. All right, so I wanted to try some things that involved more undo after reset, just to see if there are more problems. So for example, okay, so what I want to do here is just look at like, well, what if this guy does this and then does this, right? And then I don't even know. But like, what if we reset and undo? That's fine. What if we then combine some dudes? So if this guy was one further away, we go bam. Okay. Samesies. Bam. I mean, that was my main worry, was how is it going to go with mirrors, so seems to be going okay for now. So I'm willing to call that okay for now. So now the question is, do I actually want to do that refactor, or do I just want to chill and eat candy bars and go out today? I don't know. I do have tea right here that is just about done steeping. So if I were to leave right this second, it would be a waste of tea in a big way. You didn't hear that all the compiler output is fake? And we just always pretend that we have a compiler. The secret got out. Is the tea also fake? The tea tastes real to me, and that's what matters. That is what matters. You know, I don't want to do this big refactor right this second. My brain blood sugar is maybe not in the right place for it. I think it's because I just did a big ass compiler refactor over Christmas, and it's still not done in the sense that the performance sweep that we tried to do the other day was not yet successful. So I need to figure out how to make that go faster. And so my brain kind of doesn't want to do another refactor yet, while I've still got mental space devoted to that one. Sag. But I think I'm just going to keep this in mind of like, yeah, we want to sort of revamp the undo system. I don't even necessarily think this is that big of a refactor. It's just maybe rearranging some data structures or something. You read a random blog calling it vaporware. Well, you know, people can say whatever they want. If they're better programmers than me, I'll take it seriously. Also, I think a lot of people don't understand this idea of trying to make something actually good before releasing it, right? A lot of people are still in this internet mindset of as soon as you have anything at all that barely runs, you release it. And I mean, I think we see the result of that in the world. One of the main skills of that person is CMake. Okay. Okay. You mean like listing it on his resume? I know CMake. Or did he make CMake? That's even worse, maybe. Plugins for CMake. Why does CMake have plugins? It just feels like it will never come out because I'm a perfectionist. I just have a lot of work to do, dude. And not a lot of help. You know? That's just the situation. It's not really about being perfectionist at all. That's a very not a good way to think about it. It's like we're trying to establish a thing that partially is a compiler, but partially is other stuff too. It's partially like a way of programming or a way of thinking about programs, right? And we need to figure out what that is for this language. And I think we've largely figured it out, but there's still some questions left. And the problem is also, if you release something before figuring that stuff out, then it's going to be filled in, like the vacuum that you leave will be filled in by random internet noise, right? And that's not really good. So is there a business model? No. I mean, we're going to do paid beta, but I don't know if that'll make enough money to be worth anything. Are any big features still missing? Not really. I mean, there's some medium-sized things that are sort of like holes left in the bigger features that need to get filled in, but it's not. There's not really anything on the to-do list where I'm like, oh, we have to do this thing to release. Is it going to be $10 or more like $1,000? I think it will be variable price, and we will let the market decide. Did we figure out a good way to implement modules and the sharing of modules? Sort of. Like, I do feel like there's still going to be some things we need to solve as programs become very large. But I think we've got a good starting point now. Maybe. It'd be nice to get an overview of what the language currently looks like. Yeah, the plan is whenever I do the paid beta, I'll do an overview video at the beginning. Because, you know, if you're saying, hey, give me money to get in the beta, it's a good idea to let people know what the thing is, right? How many beta seats do I think will be available? Okay. So right now in the beta, there's like 125 people or something. And I think we're just going to release new seats, quote unquote seats, over time. Maybe starting with like around 10 a month, right? And then at some point accelerating that. Is there any plan for something like SIMP for parsing text files? We already have that, actually. We have that. I mean, it might not be as widespread and versatile as somebody might want, but people can copy it and change the features and whatever. Whatever. Yes, indeed. So I think what I want to do is go back to this manifest thing we were looking at on a previous stream and try to figure out why not all texture maps are in the manifest. Like if I just closed my Twitch chat because the internet. Let's get that back. Do I recommend this as a first programming language for someone to learn? Probably not. Okay. How does the dev team manage files? I don't know. I don't understand the question. Manage them how? To do what? Okay. So yeah, let's go back to this manifest thing. So if I go to here, this is like a new export that I did last night. And if I run, it's going to complain. Okay, it didn't complain. Oh, it did. Okay. It's going to complain about all these things. And the scene looks messed up. So let's write down what all these things are. And okay. Brick B, Pabst Blue Ribbon, differ, for example. I can just set a breakpoint there. Problem is, oh, I did put the PDB. All right, let's see if we can actually debug this thing. It's going to be extra confusing because this is like SocoDebug in a different folder, but I don't want to change the name of the executable because like I think the PDB is like hard-coded. I don't fucking know. All right, open project solution. Okay. Now we want unable to get the modification time. Catalog. Okay. Bro. Oh, this is a different message. This is... I just looked here, but it's here. Hello, people. How's it going? Visiting scholars. Okay. Unable to get modification time. Yes. So full path is, well, we don't have a full path. Right. Short name is Archtie Wood Floor A Differ. And that's probably here. It's actually not. What? Archtie Wood Floor A Differ. We have these tint A's. Okay, this is already weird, but you know, maybe it comes out a little different. I don't know. But anyway, where is this coming from? It's from update material in the shader parameters for this fucking so the material maybe we should pick something with shorter names because I'm going to write the names down. We only really need one of them. Let me see. Oh, this one I see. I didn't copy and paste that because it came at a different time from all the other ones. Let's see if they come out in the same order. So now short name. Wait, what? There's not even short name? This might be a different one. Let's just see what it prints there. Wait, and then it found the rest. What? Okay. So this is all bothering me, but that's like a whole different scenario. So if I run again, what happens? Is it like random? This is our arch tie wood floor again. This is our no... Like what? I'm really kind of confused about this. Why would it suddenly have files that it did not previously have? Wait, this is an old executable anyway. All right, you know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to refresh everything. We're going to do this. We're going to make a release build. Maybe I should run the whole manifest again. No, I'm not going to do that. What is Notch doing these days? He blocked me on Twitter a long time ago, so I don't see what he's up to. Oh, actually, that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to go... Is he actually making games now again? Because I feel like he sort of didn't for a long time. Types memes and plays test. Why did he block me? Because I was just arguing with him about something and he didn't like that. Oh, come on. Let's just close all our Explorer windows. I was trying to argue with him and say that life was not meaningless, and he wanted to say that life was meaningless. I think that's my remembrance of the story. He's working on a new game. All right, well, that's good. Okay. As you can see, the export process now goes much faster than it used to. And Yes. Okay, so if I go back here, if we run this for the first time, are we going to get all these funky errors? So here we got a null short name. Maybe that was just old. Like, I don't know. Was it just old? How do our tiles look? Like, they look good. Here they don't necessarily look good, but I don't know if that's because this level isn't as touched up. Okay, I want to look at this level in the release version of the game in the main tree. Right? I mean, it looks the same. So this is just like how this level looks. So maybe the manifest is working fine and I just got confused by having old files. Or maybe... is the water different? I mean, it looks like the lighting is a little bit different on it, yes. That also could be, like, there's this particle or this volume effect going right over it, but that's a good point. That water. Let's see if we can spot anything else. It's like playing Where's Waldo. Okay, this is very different. See those reflections on the bottom are all jacked in the playtest. And that could be like the same thing that's happening to the water on the other level. It's just here it's very obvious. The blocks are the blocks are in different places, but that's just because we're loading a save game on one and not on the other. Don't worry about that. Cube map missing, maybe. I mean, I don't think it's that though, because like like get down. No, it's more like whatever's under it here. This thing is messed up. Right? Like, oh no, it looks the same. So it's something about this water is more opaque, or the blend mode is different. Dude, it's resetting when I alt tab. Let's lock the camera. Okay, which one's the play test? Can I even tell? Like, they look similar here, although you can see on this one, see how you have the little, like the normal mapped nuggets on the ground on the bottom in this one, and then they kind of disappear under the water plane here? Here, the normal mapped nuggets do not disappear under the water plane. Yeah, I will email the team about this and ask for advice about what that could be. There's a missing rock texture. Where? Where is missing rock texture? Okay, this wall in the back. Okay, its blend data is different. Oh, shit. Let me just look. Okay. This is Heroes 1.4.5. Data levels. Heroes 1.4.5. It does have paint data. So I wonder if there's something about how the paint data has to get applied. Okay, here's my next experiment. I want to see if I just go to the game and I load my binary paint data from the game. Okay. I'm just going to temporarily do this no matter what. We're just going to do the binary entities path for this. And we're going to start back up on that level. And I want to know if it's jacked now. Because if so, it is. Okay, so this means that my binary paint data is not correct. And I didn't know that. Okay. So here I was like, hey, we'll load the paint data, save it, and then load the binary version, right? And that tests the save load pathway. But it does not test whether we failed to set some data members that were being set when we load. Yeah. Okay. Let's just look. Oh, do we even set this frickin' flag? Maybe we don't. Dude, I don't even set the goddamn flag. That's probably it. That is probably literally the problem. Nope, it wasn't the problem. Okay, we will continue to look for the problem, though. Hello, people. Hello, people who are here. Okay. So let's look at what else happens. So we load this file. I mean, do we? I don't think we error on this. Like, we don't. But I guess we would return and we would say failed to load level. Okay. So, yeah, let's just look at what else happens when we load from file. We read the file and then we go load paint data. That's fine. We get colors. We remap the colors. We don't have to do that here because we would have done this before saving it. This colors changed thing is a little bit questionable. I don't understand why we're storing the positions in the paint data, but that's fine. Allocate paint buffer. We're just not calling this. I bet that's what we're not doing. Hey, look. It's fixed. I guess. I mean, the water doesn't look all messed up, but like the mossy background back there looks kind of messed up, although maybe that's how it's supposed to be. It looks different than it did, but maybe that's fine. Okay, so the water is not messed up. Mossy background. Let's put the save code back the way it was and see if the mossy background... Actually, no, you know what we can do? We can just load it in the editor, because the editor uses the text file path always. Hey, look, it looks the same. All right, well, I think we solved that problem. So basically, this stuff is just like the CPU data, and then, you know, we make a buffer on the GPU and push that there. And I hadn't done that. Now, I would have expected that the system would log an error if I flagged it as having vertex paint but didn't put the data there. But I don't know why whoever wrote this didn't make it do that, but they didn't, and that cost me time. I mean, maybe there's some scenario in which that makes sense as a legitimate use, but I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think it should have given me an error, and it didn't, and therefore I am now the Unabomber. No new video on YouTube. I just haven't... you know, people are in different modes sometimes. Sometimes they feel like doing stuff like that. Sometimes it's just like I'm hunkering down and solving all these problems, right? Like what we're doing right now, I don't feel like would make a super good YouTube video because it's just programming and doing little things. I don't know. Okay. So that's good. That vertex paint scenario is solved. I kind of want to do another export now. Meow. I want to do another export meow. And then let's actually make a new, just totally making all the new executables. Reload from binary every time is not working as intended then. That is literally what we just fixed. Literally just fixed. Okay, we're going to run package again. Dang it. Look, we dared to have a folder open. paint data in that function. So what the paint data is if you have a big entity like those walls in the back, and you want to change how textures look across the surface, one way to do it that gives you a lot of variability is just have a material with like multiple texture layers, and then you use like a color channel to blend between the different layers. I think like there was a good like way back in Uncharted 2 presentation or something where they did this. And we actually did that in The Witness as well, and it was very successful. Okay. How big is package Sokoban now? Oh, we can do a compare because I kept the old one too. So the old one, pre-manifest, is 14.1 gigs. Now, 11.2 gigs. Still large. And that's unzipped, right? So zipped up, it'll be smaller. This probably still has a bunch of files that we don't really need. You know what we could do? Well, I want to check this in, but like all these level sets are not necessary because they contain the drafts and stuff. So let me check this in, and then I'll check for drafts in the packaging. Why are those checked into source control? Like, what is even going on there? 1 second. All right, well, somebody had a bug in their game and it went haywire. Okay, so the level sets. So in our packager, dude, it's so fun to be writing this packager in the same language as everything else. Dude, it's so good. Okay, I did that. I filtered out the levels that we don't want. Okay. Level set. Wait. So our level sets here do not contain all those draft levels. So what's going on? Oh wait, I'm looking in totally the wrong folder anyway. Okay, I was looking in the wrong place before when I saw the drafts and all that. This is actually correct, so there's nothing more to do here. So we don't have to do anything here. Good news. I was looking for an instrumenting tool. I don't think I was looking for a general instrumentation tool, no. I mean, this is mildly interesting, but it is not. I actually don't remember what I was doing, but it is not. I think I was talking about instrumenting profilers. And I remember having some discussion about instrumenting not meaning what people thought it meant anymore. Like people had a weird idea of what instrumenting means. I forget even what the weird idea was that people had of what instrumenting means. Remember we were looking at something claiming to be an instrumenting profiler that like wasn't. Anyway, it's interesting that somebody built this whole thing. I wonder what people use it for. I mean, I guess Intel uses it for their own stuff, and then I wonder if anyone else does. Anyway, that's cool. Okay, so we know that's good thing to know about. I mean, the materials thing, we kind of want to check those, but this is contingent on other questions anyway. You know, one thing, why are there 1,000 materials? That's nutty. I guess like we auto create one per mesh now. So that's got a bunch of stuff. Okay, now these are actual materials. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to the rest of the team because I don't understand what is the current state of the material system. And so forth. These files are all pretty old. Anyway. Oh, you know what we could do? Let's go back, because remember, we fixed that vertex paint loading thing. Let's see if that fixed the earlier level that we noticed being incorrect. Now, I actually have to... Wait, did I rerun the packager? I did. Right? I think I did after fixing that. I guess we'll know by if the other level comes out. Okay, so this level's fine. But we had noticed this one. The question is, does that still look different? And I don't remember if it was like... that it was off by being too dark or off by being too bright. Game's audio is loud. Sag. Okay, that looks the same now. So it was the same problem. Awesome. I mean, you're getting the game audio both from the desktop audio, but it's also coming in through my mic. Clouds were more transparent unpackaged version. On that level, let's see. Clouds? Oh, like right in front of the water, you mean? Okay. I don't know where the other window is. I must have closed it. No. Dude, they look exactly the same to me. Let's even put this guy at the beginning. Oh, on the previous... Okay, so you're saying maybe that got fixed as well. I think it's fixed now. Okay. Just verifying that we're in a good place. There's a lot of levels, but they're all going to be empty folders, most of them. Or I guess that material test isn't. Oh, this is this is the wrong file tree again. That's not the exported one. Yeah. So a lot of these, we do this Xcopy thing that creates empty folders and like, And maybe we shouldn't do that. But I think I'm going to wait on that because, you know, we're going to probably package all the files together. And maybe that's a thing to start doing tonight, is just make a little container format that's very simple, like we always do. And then we could put things like all the levels in there. I don't know. So like right now, this is just, it's got all these loose files and stuff, right? And we don't really want that in the final build. Oh, we could actually, this would be interesting. So it'd be an interesting way to just test a package format, is just do it in one category at a time. So like just have a package for all the fonts. It's not really saving us that many files, but like we just load it and go. It's a little bit sad because all the Asian fonts are large. To just load that. Actually, that's not a good example because you actually don't want to load those. But maybe we take something like, yeah, I don't know, all the materials, which it's a bunch of files, but it's like 1 megabyte of data, right? But it's 1,000 files, right? So if we put all the materials just into a little package format, and then we change how we load them, then GG's, right? Like we could just, you know, it's like a very simple version of a zip file that wouldn't really do compression, and we just go through and do all the things, right? that might be a fun stream for tonight. I think I'm going to take some time off before that because I haven't really. I've been working pretty hard. But yeah, maybe tonight we do a package format stream, right? It'll be pretty easy to like write out the format and read it back in. And then if we can have the game running with that, then that's pretty good. Going to have to roll your own anyway if you need to run the packager on Linux. I don't know what. We probably wouldn't ever do that, but I'm not sure what that has to do with rolling your own or not. The frongs on the top, the frogs. The frogs are different. Why do I keep messing up my folders? Hold on. The frogs in the top left. I don't see. You mean the little fish dude? What are we claiming? Like the camera's in different positions in these, for sure. I should make, like when I hit Alt Enter, this box comes down, so I should make that not happen. What are we even talking about frogs? What are frogs? The moss. I literally see no difference. Am I blind? Am I blind? The two blobs. Okay, where are we talking? Do you mean up here? Or here? Where do you, or like here? Yeah. Saying yeah doesn't help. The first one top left. Up here. You're saying like above these two little white things or below? Or on both sides? Above the light thing, it seems in the camera move, it chops off differently. I mean, we have a slightly different camera perspective between the two scenes because the cameras are animated and we started the game at different times. But like, so you see a slightly more amount of it from one camera perspective than another. But that's the only thing that I see. Anyway, this is all good. Let's do the Alt-Enter thing while we're here. It'll be my last thing. Is this in... See, Alt-Enter is supposed to say do nothing, but it didn't. Like what? Excuse me? Excuse me. Okay, we're going to close this because this is going to be really confusing because it is the other one. We want this one. So question is, do we go to do nothing at all? And I think we will. Oh. All right. And then open bug reporter. And which of those do we hit? Okay, Alt, Enter. Open playtest note UI. Interesting. Why? Why? What is the event? Are we not correctly detecting Alt being down? Alt pressed is true. It. Modifier flags. Alt pressed is false. Maybe the packing event modifier flags packed 0001 0000. It modifier flags packed is O. Ignore modifier keys. Is that set? Why are we ignoring modifier keys? Because this is gameplay key map? Right, so if somebody like hits control during gameplay. Okay. Here's we're going to change this. I know what this was for. Okay, we're going to do the following. If we're ignoring modifier keys, we're going to do one thing. And we're going to explain it in a minute. All right. Else, it's this, right? Now here it's if this and they're not equal. Because like you want to be able to have gameplay keys and yeah, you know, this probably shouldn't be a flag on the key map. It probably should be a flag on... Oh shit, this won't even work. Because we have a key map for enter. So if we say ignore modifier keys lets us do the enter key map, we'll do it anyway. And then we'll hit the alt enter. Like this, ignore modifier keys has to be... So the idea behind all this is that modifiers should not affect these things, right? We could add an extra prefix for like definitely no modifier. That's kind of weird. I mean, I'm going to try that. Fudge. See, our parse modifier flags doesn't even take the thing. Like, this is turning into a bigger scenario. Because we don't want it to be a modifier flag. Let's just say definitely no modifier, strictly no modifier. Okay, we're just going to try it this way, and if it's not the best way, okay. Single key mapping. Okay. So, parse modifier flags. So if it's n, We made the word scan. Okay. Now, if strictly no modifier, if modifier flags dot packed, error handler cannot use n along with other modifier flags. N means no modifiers. Are allowed. It's a little weird. I don't know. But okay. Okay. Do we even compile right now? Yes. So we're going to go here. We're going to do that. We're going to go back to the player control, get rid of our do nothing, because that's silly now. And then, I mean, honestly, I could have handled this by looking at the event. We could have just manually ignored the event. I don't know. Anyway, this is more data driven. So if the N flag is set, then what did this used to be before I changed it? I think it was just, all right, hold on. Yeah, it was just this line. Oh, wait, no, it was this. All right. So let's bring this back into play here. This is what it was, and it said, hey, if the modifiers flags are different, and we're not ignoring modifier keys, and then we'll go if that just gives us a way of ignoring that. Okay. Is that the best way? I don't know. Strictly no modifiers. I want it to be modifiers. No. Oh, God. Yes. 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 No. Yes, yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Got to fix all my spaces. Okay. Anywho. Did I hear about the Chronicles of Mirtana Gothic 2 mod? No, I didn't. So it's very sad because the old Gothic games, like, I don't think they're that good by modern standards, but they really captured something at the time that I felt other games didn't. And then the later Gothic games and then whatever the hell else they did really lost what was good about those games in the beginning, right? Okay, enter, alt enter. Fixed. Okay. Let's tell the people and let's comment the thing. Modules key map has a new flag to help with ignore modifier key style key maps. We'll have to document this better sometime. Okay, so ignore modifier keys is for games where, say, you want to press WASD to move around, but you also want to be able to press Shift, Control, Alt, whatever, and have those modifiers not change the meaning of the WASD. However, sometimes in those key maps, you want some keys that definitely only work with no modifiers. For example, we wanted to map the enter key to open a debug comment window, playtest comment. But when the player presses Alt Enter, so instead of strictly no modifiers, we could make it like just normal key map rules. Hello, how's it going? How's it going? Do I stream in order to have some sort of accountability? No. No. That's like going to Twitter to ask how you should live your life or something. It's not a good idea. You know, I think I want to change what N means. We'll keep it N for now. Maybe there's a better character. When the player plays, that should toggle full screen, not open the comment window. So we added the do not ignore modifier keys flag on the individual entry. This can be specified in the key map file with n. So we're going to do this. We're going to go, if they're not equal, if we're ignoring modifier keys, right, and not it dot do not ignore modifier keys, right? Under all other conditions, this would not match, but under this condition, it does. Okay, this is easier to understand and it's less weird. Okay. So and it's better because now this will work on things that have modifiers, right? And then down here, this error detection, this is no longer true. Delete that code that we typed. Okay, I'm getting really hungry, everybody. I meant to do that out here. Star enter. I didn't want to make you do that because if you go back and look at the gameplate key map, right? Like, you would have to put that on all of these, including the gamepad stuff, and that's weird and gross. That's why I didn't do it that way. And it's pretty unfriendly if you're letting people edit the key map or whatever, right? Now enter and n-enter have different semantics. No, they don't. I don't know what you mean. Dang it, it didn't work. Wait, what? Why didn't it work? Now I'm sad. Sad. What did I do wrong? Must be something simple. Do not ignore. Wait, I got this. We are fine. Fall through and process the key map, right? Else continue, right? So if we're not ignoring modifier key, we could have just put a not in front of all this. It's just confusing. Okay, that's weird. So since I got that wrong, it means if I hold control and go like W8, yeah, okay. I'm holding control and trying to move and I can't, right? And now I can. Okay, so that makes sense that was the result. Let's try again. How often do I use my mouse when programming? Not very much. Using a mouse is not good for programming. There we go. It's not good for programming. Hey, look, it's not coming up. Because it removes flow. Because you can't like pipeline the next step in your brain until you see where the mouse lands, or it's much harder, right? Whereas if you're typing, you don't have to look at the screen. Kind of. Okay. Fix Alt Enter popping up the comment window. What did we do on the package script? Oh yeah. Nothing worth mentioning. Okay, I think that's it for now. I think I'm going to go out into the world and have a little bit of a break in all these things. Thanks for coming by, everybody. We did 3 hours and 40 minutes. I didn't think it was that long. What did we even do today? Oh, yeah, we debugged the undo thing. We did some level tests. We fixed a bug in the packaging binary loading thing. Yeah, I feel like we might do the package format thing tonight. That could be the subject of tonight's stream. All right, thanks everybody. See you later on. Maybe we'll bring back the camera. I don't know. Maybe not.